Yes, so Megan Green gave us the end of the year instructions, which just means to me I have to do all of the end of the year balances and set up the reports for them, which I am in the process of doing. So I wanted to know if there's any way that you guys can meet either the last Tuesday of this month, or the first Tuesday of next month is the 4th of July and the building is closed. Yeah. So then it would have to be the following week, because I think we will never get a quorum on the 4th of July week.
Well, so wait, you want to meet this month?
Yeah, what's the last Tuesday of the month?
Well, what's the matter with the next Tuesday?
Oh, next Tuesday?
Yeah, the 20th.
I'll be at my conference.
Okay, so the 27th?
Yeah.
June 27th?
June 27th. I probably won't be here. Oh, you won't be here that day? Okay, you want to skip to after the 4th?
So then it's the 11th, July 11th.
July 11th? Okay, that would work.
So that might as well be our next official meeting
Okay,
anyway.
all right. So in between then, if I have any bills, I will just email them all to you guys. I'll scan them in and email them, and you'll have to approve them, because we have to close out the year. We shouldn't have anything. I've tried to put everything in this month.
Okay, so, and one more time, what do you need from us on this by that meeting? Signed bills
Yeah,
and?
we're just gonna do the end of the year budget. And we also wanted to go over the
So that's all
timeline.
in this.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. And I'm also writing a CPC article for the Brewster CPC, which is due July 1st, so actually works out better for me if we don't have to make another meeting before then.
Okay, and this is part of this, this is part
Yeah.
of this.
Yeah. So,
Excuse
Okay.
me, Robin, what's the one for Brewster?
so Brewster, they're gonna, I'm gonna submit a partial for the Revolutionary War Memorial. So that way they can pay their portion.
Yeah.
So that our CPC requested me to do that, so I'm just following through, and
Perfect.
I have the application, I'm in the process of filling it out. I did reach out to a couple people from their CPC and from the Historic Society there, so I could try to get a letter from them saying that they were in support. So, I can, show that to you guys before. Okay? And,
Okay, so next item is article on Vermont allowing out-of-states to use assisted suicide.
so yesterday I had a burial in Island Pond, which was a local guy who was terminally ill with cancer, and he was one of the first people that I'm aware of from Massachusetts to go up there and have assisted suicide. So he scheduled his date of death, and he went up there, and I guess they gave him a little pill, and he fell asleep within 15 minutes, and that was it. So I just thought I'd put it in the packet only for you guys for informational. This is the first I heard of it. If he didn't contact me, I wouldn't even have known about it. But I just thought it was.
Yeah, interesting, but I mean, it's not something that's gonna
Yeah,
play on
yeah.
our rules
No,
or
no,
regs or
no.
anything. Okay.
No, it's just in Vermont. I just thought it was something that maybe you guys might like to be aware of.
Okay, letter from Ronald and Dorothy Lindholm.
Yeah, so Ronald and Dorothy Lindholm are just transferring their lot into her sister Wendy's and her husband, because they purchased a different lot, so that this would be next to her sister Wendy's lot. So her sister Wendy had 2 grave spaces, so she's given her these 2, so they'll have 4, so her kids can be beside her. So you guys would just have to sign off like this is a regular
And
deed.
that's okay with our new rules?
Yep.
Because it's not
They're not transferring any money. She's just gifting it to her sister.
gifting it,
Yeah.
okay.
So you guys would.
Because I know we added sections on
Yeah.
that for inheritance and stuff. Can we just do that? Why don't we do that?
At
Why
the
don't we
end.
get through it, since you gotta go to a department head meeting, and
Okay.
then we'll just have a big signing party and be
Okay.
done.
So this,
Other old business?
you did send in this, so
Yeah, I
okay.
didn't know if you added that.
I couldn't add it out because it was too late to add, but That's another reason why if we had a quick little meeting, even if we did a go-to meeting,
Yeah,
we could vote on this before the following meeting.
well, I think we can vote on it, we might be able to vote on it right now.
Oh, okay, all right.
So this is the Otter plan that we discussed last meeting, and it allows us to take recordings of the meeting or actually to turn our phones on, our laptops, and record the meeting right now, and it'll transcribe it into text, which will save all of us
A lot of,
time with minutes. Then it just becomes editing as opposed to typing, editing, spell check, and everything. I mean, since we have one meeting a month,
yeah,
and it's rarely longer than 90 minutes, that should fit the pro plan,
okay,
which is billed annually, $833. I mean, it seemed to work, the little test that we
Right.
did last meeting.
Right.
I mean, it wasn't the way we would present it, but it's just a case of edit, copy, paste,
right,
add some paragraphs,
right,
delete some stuff, Rob's extraneous talking. So, and this gives us max monthly transcription of 1,200 minutes. Per conversation is 90 minutes, and you can do 10 of these per month. So, and then you can share them with up to 100 names, but that would be very easy to share it with all four of us.
yeah.
So I think we should entertain a motion to subscribe to this out of available funds.
Yep.
Cynthia? Since we're down to
Yeah, I'll
one.
second it.
Okay,
Excuse me.
so
So Rob, you're making motion?
I'll make the motion, yeah. I mean, I didn't know if I had to bypass that since I'm acting quasi-chair today.
Second.
So that's unanimous. And we're gonna do the pro. So, Robin, this is gonna be on you.
Yep.
To sign it up, pay for it, however you can do that,
Okay.
through town funds or
Okay.
reimburse yourself. And
All right.
then next meeting on the 11th, I mean, we can have multiple cell phones going just in case something is missed.
Yeah,
So we'll have to get the logon information and share it with everybody.
okay.
And then we'll just have to remember to whip out our cell phones and prop them somewhere and point them in different
Or
directions.
wait, I could probably bring my laptop.
If we can get it to do that. But I think
Okay.
the first time or two that we use it, I think we ought to have multiple recordings.
Okay,
And then go, that worked, oh, this
Yeah.
broke up.
yeah, okay,
Cell phone went asleep and stopped, whatever.
okay,
And then we also have we should maybe try the video method, where
Okay.
we get a copy of this video, and matter of fact, you could probably do that
yeah,
this month. Take this video, pay for that, take this video, import it, and see what it does.
oh,
And that may be the
Wow.
easy way.
that would
That
be
way
great.
we can put it on Caleb's shoulders to, that the video is clear and concise. Okay, so that's approved.
Yes.
That should lighten the load a little bit. And there's no rules against this
No.
kind of thing since we record
No,
this stuff.
and we would
Anyway.
say we are recording it, so I mean, I think as long as you give a disclaimer at the beginning, saying that we are doing it, I
Well,
think that's,
they're all recorded for the
Correct.
town, yeah.
Mhm.
All right, so old business, up-to-date revolving, for the totals for the revolving account and cemetery budget.
yes. So in here, at the bottom, I started to put in, the Pine Grove fence repair
Oh, yeah.
for the
something's
entrance
missing.
and then so he did send me an entire, and it's in the packet, to repair the fence. Let's see, that's that one. Maybe at the end. Sorry.
After the bank statement,
No, it's before.
Pine Grove,
Yeah,
276063.
yeah. So, I think we should do it. It looks terrible. 2763. I don't think that's unreasonable. He's gonna fix the front fence where there's, I think it's, is it 3 posts that are, says 3? 3 posts were
Yeah,
damaged.
it's
Probably due to
it's the
snow.
galvanized,
Yeah, and then in the back, they'll restring and fix all the holes that are in the fence. And,
Close
It-
up that.
close up,
way.
yeah, close it all up. So I think it's a very reasonable quote. They're the only ones that actually, that I could find that do chain link, because all of them now just do the regular, either wooden or that white plastic fencing. So it's up to you guys if you want to have it done. But
Oh, I think it has to be done.
yeah,
Yeah. I'll make a motion that we accept their quote and have that fence repaired in Pine Grove.
Second? Anybody opposed? Steve? Okay, so that passes. That'll leave us with an available balance of $36,225.96.
and I have two big deposits I'm going to be making, so
Okay.
that'll change too. I'm selling lots today, tomorrow, and I have a whole bunch of checks that I'm depositing today.
Review of town meeting article approvals, rules and regulations, CPC for the Revolutionary War and Civil War monuments.
So the rules and regulations, I just left that in there because I'm going to be starting to draft letters to some of the people that are in clear violation. We have quite a few of them. I'll write them letters, and I'm going to send them registered receipt so that I know they got them. But I still think I should go on maybe the Board of Selectmen or make a couple announcements that these things will be removed, and I think I should do that twice. Maybe I'll do one at one Board of Selectmen, then I'll come back like a couple weeks later and say, this is a reminder, just so that people can't say that we didn't,
Right.
we did
How
not,
about one for the selectmen, and then we take out
an
a
ad.
town notice?
Okay.
What, I only get one newspaper, what's the appropriate?
It's the Chronicle is our newspaper of record.
Okay,
Okay, so then the Chronicle,
yep, and then, back there in the town notices.
okay,
Yeah,
all right,
nicely worded, not threatening, but,
yeah. And we don't do any, we
Perce-
don't throw them out, we put it behind the DPW, and if they wanted to go and get them, they could.
Yeah.
But I have been talking to people and letting them know all along, and some people have already removed their stuff, but there's some people that I just don't catch in the cemetery, because they probably come off hours when I'm off work.
would it be, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, someone that you recently sold a lot to has put a very big monument on there. Not a monument, stone monument, but memento, whatever you wanna call it.
Yeah,
And obviously, didn't read the
Yeah,
minutes, but
Yeah.
I think that, can we post it also on the community center, the channel 18?
Channel 18, okay.
oh, that's a good idea. Would it be worth, while you're scribbling, would it be worth having very discreet, those like little lawn signs that the pesticide people, those little yellow things, not yellow, but something discreet with a plastic thing that could go, like if somebody brought something in that's not allowed, and right behind it we put that,
Yeah.
and it says, please be advised that.
That this is not allowed and we
Yeah,
will be
but
removing.
but again, they're visiting, they're relative. And,
Right.
I wouldn't.
Well, maybe
would set me off,
I'll come up with a draft, and maybe we'll look at it.
Yeah,
next
so
week.
let's put that up for next meeting. That may be worth just. It's easier for you, and if we all had some of them, we're doing our own little inspections, and we
Right.
go, oh, it's got to go. Sorry, someplace discreet. You stick it way down the ground so it's barely sticking up, and so when they go visit again, they go, oh. And for any questions, your number or email address, or
Good idea.
that way we can, it doesn't have to become a conflict issue either.
Okay.
Anything else on those?
Well, then the other thing was the CPC article, which I am going to be following up with the town of Brewster. And once I have that whole application filled out, I will make sure that you guys all have a copy of it in the next packet, so you see what I submitted.
And you have time will that be by next month?
I have to have it by July 1st as the deadline.
Oh, well,
So-
maybe we need to come in. Why don't you email us or
Okay.
send it to us, and
Okay.
we can. least
So
get
what I'm
behind
doing
it.
is I'm taking all of the Brewster veterans that I have. I already have all their information, when they were born, when they died, where they're buried, and their service record. So that's going to be part of the packet to them so that they know. And then I'll show them a picture of what the memorial is going to look like, how it passed at our town meeting and what the portion of their, how many they have and what the full cost is and what I'm requesting.
Is this worth it on the monument itself to current Brewster residents, former Harwich?
No, we can't, that'll be, every single time it's $10 per whatever ad that you do for every character.
No, I didn't mean, I meant more sort. So you have all the Harwich
Oh,
veterans, and then we have a subcategory of
Brewster.
course, it was Harwich back then.
Yeah,
so-
it was all Harwich.
Okay, I'm just
So
thinking out loud.
we could, when we do the website anyways, it'll sort them themselves, like you could search for which cemeteries they're currently buried in.
Mhm.
So, it would tell them which ones were in Brewster.
Okay,
And I got more veterans than they have on their list, so they're probably gonna want my info anyways, because I'm adding veterans to their count.
Good.
Okay,
alrighty, yeah, this is my fault. Veterans Memorial Phases.
yeah,
Yeah, Robin and I have just not been able to sync
Yeah.
schedules to kind of outline that.
yeah, so what we can do is, I did have, to do an update for a meeting that I'm doing later today. So the hardscape has been, ordered, we're waiting for it to come in, it should be in before September. So once that's in, probably in late August, we're probably gonna have to go back out, we might either have to have Paul Sweetser or somebody just put flags where the flag poles are gonna go, because she has to put in the footings for all of the flag poles before the granite
Right. Yeah,
base
so this
is
is
installed.
below the granite. That
Yeah.
actually ties the flag. The granite is decoration
Right,
and some stability.
yeah, and then they'll probably put the flags in, so I'm hoping that everything is completely done before October. Because once that goes in, and then the surrounding granite ring where the lights will go in, then we'll have to call the electrical guy to come in and just hook up a light that lights the American flag. So I think it's on time.
Yeah.
For Veterans Day. I think the rest of it will probably have to be grass this year, and we could probably just make sure once it's all finished, we'll just seed and
Well, this is a lifelong project.
Yeah. So
That
I
we're
think
trying to get
it'll
done.
be good to go. So
All right, well, fingers crossed.
yeah, yay! Let's hope.
Bank Street Cemetery update.
Yeah, so we do have the photographs of the fence, which has been installed, which looks great. I've had people comment. I did reach out to Young and Fancy Signs, who have done our signs before. She is making a mock-up. It wasn't completed by yesterday, so it will be in the next packet, which will show you the sign, how small the sign is. I think we should go back out there in another couple weeks if we can, just to do a walkthrough and figure out. I wouldn't mind, we have a lot of wood chips that we, when we take down the trees, we chip them all, and we have stacks of them in Island Pond in the corner. If we did a wood chip circular or some way to people to get in and out, that would not drive on. I want to make sure they know where our property is. I want them going on their lawns,
Yeah.
The neighbors. But I think it came out excellent. I
It
really
looks
like it.
good.
It's just inside the fence. It's still gross.
So we'll have to think about, I don't know if we want to try to see if we can get them to go in there, the guys in the fall, and strip it and seed it, and do regular grass.
Well, it's either grass, although, Jim had some concerns with that because
It's
there's
just
no
a
water and stuff.
Yeah, but if we do it in the fall,
Oh, I agree. Something else that might look nice is the wood chip path
okay.
through the fence
Mm-hmm.
to the gravesite,
Yep.
and maybe like vinca, not ivy,
Yeah.
because that will kill
No.
anything around.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But vinca's slow, you get some spring flowers, but it's pricey,
Say, yeah,
isn't it?
wildflowers or something, and they could, how they spread them like on the side of the
Yeah,
highway
yeah.
and stuff, something
Yeah.
like that grows. Wouldn't be bad.
Yeah,
Ah.
I'm like, the neighbors are good. They haven't said
Yeah.
anything, but I'm just concerned with I don't want to be the devaluer of the
Right.
neighborhood.
Right. All right, so we'll definitely go back out there. 'Cause
Yes,
we're gonna
so
have to
we need to retour,
schedule.
maybe in July if we have time. Tree tags,
Tree tags, so.
they look really nice.
AmeriCorps went out, which was wonderful, and They did an amazing job. So I have some photos and packets for the public, so if they haven't been there, so they can see them. So there's Jody. She was Amy Uzowski's AmeriCorps member last year, and she's at a different place this year. She's installing it. And that's just on the sycamore maple. And then I just put one in of the American elm. We did find another American elm. We think it's another American elm. Russ Norton came when we did the tree tags, and he identified 10 more species. We're up to 89. If we get to 100, which we could easily do, because we're going to start looking at more woody plants, because it doesn't have to be a tree, it can be a woody plant. So he's going to come back and go over that with us. Then we get a level 2 accreditation. The reason why you want to get level 2 accreditation is because then there is, you can apply for federal grants for tree maintenance. So that all the older trees and some of the locust trees and some of the tupelos that we have are very old, and they will be able to guide us with some maintenance and stuff like that. So Dory is working very hard trying to identify, I mean, just while things were in bloom, we identified 5 more things last Thursday. So
And this includes the new ones you put in.
right,
Yeah.
yeah. So we're close.
Yeah.
So I think we're down to like, I think we need like a little over 10 that we have to install, which literally we could do 10 in one day.
Yeah, as long as you can get quality. Yeah.
Right. So the trees that we got the last time we went to Agway, and they're very reasonable. We get a great discount there that we installed. Every single one of them looks fantastic. They're doing very well. So we'll probably continue to do that.
Good.
So then I also included a picture in there, which is Dory giving some of our master gardeners a tour, and that's Russ. Can't see him because he's scratching his head at that moment, but well, we had the master gardeners here, and they toured the Arboretum to check out the signs and stuff. We have 3 of them now that are going to volunteer within the Arboretum grounds, and they'll do everything from mulching, watering, to anything that we ask. So they'll do planting, and they've been fantastic. We have one lady, Kathleen, who's already did the entire native species garden in the way back. She weeded the whole thing. The guys delivered mulch. She mulched the whole thing. It looks fantastic. So I can't say enough about them. And Russ is going to use us as one of their learning classrooms, so that way some of their, they have to do so many hours of community service or gardening.
Right.
And they're going to use that as one of their places, which is fantastic.
Well, when that winds, I'm sorry.
Oh.
I was just gonna say, when that winds down, we
Yeah.
should do something for them.
Yeah.
You know, even just a little get together.
Yeah. They've been really great. I mean, I can't tell you
So
how.
what kind of wine they like. You know, something like, it's just something.
Yeah,
that-
for an
that-
appreciation
Well,
day.
because, you know,
Yeah.
think about,
I know they have to do
AmeriCorps
they have
hours
to
it would
do
take.
they have to do 200 hours
Wow.
of community service
Wow.
in order to become a master gardener. It might be 250, but I think it's 200.
Keep
Um,
the certification.
Yeah, to get so a lot of them have, and we have a list. I think we had 45 of them come that day. We only have a few in the picture. I led the first group, and then there was another group, and then Dory led up the final group. We had a couple people volunteer from the community to help us with parking cars, which was great. Which I will give kudos when I do. I'm going to do an talk on Channel 18 about that coming up. So I'll give all that information when I talk. Which was, I'm excited to do. But we've had a lot more people walking in there and touring and asking about different trees, because we're asking people to stop planting native trees. So in the Arboretum app, it tells you whether it's native versus
Right.
or non-native, or if they're invasive, we put invasive, so that way people can know. But it gives them a good idea what it's going to look like when they're fully grown. So
That's great.
and conservation is okay with keeping the invasives?
well, some of them are, yeah, they're okay. They don't want us to remove.
Honeybees are invasive.
Yeah.
We brought them.
So
over.
on that note, so when guys were in there, and we found all this foxglove within the cemetery, and it's absolutely gorgeous. And it's actually kind of, this is, I guess they listed as an invasive, and they also say, you know, it can be poisonous to dogs or pets if they eat
Poisonous
it.
to people,
Yeah,
that's, that's digitalis.
So they
Yeah.
also, it used to be used as a medicinal
Yeah.
for heart
Yeah.
issues.
Digitalis. I mean, I can rattle off 3 or 4 murder mysteries where they
Oh, really?
use that.
Right.
Yeah.
Where is
interesting.
that located?
That is, if you go in, the DPW just finished grading, you know where they had that little stump dump? If you came, so they graded that all down, it goes all the way down to the northern Catalpa tree now, and it looks absolutely fantastic. They did it within 2 days, I put in a work order and it's been completed. They hauled off all of the debris, and when we were down there, there's so much of it, that's all over by the the wetlands.
Now,
Some of them, one of them's like, is almost as tall as me.
isn't that what do they call it, a biannual?
Yes,
It-
yeah.
You were just
It
saying
grows,
that,
seeds, comes back.
Well, there's a couple
In
of
2
them.
years or
Yeah,
something,
there's
yeah.
a couple of them that aren't blooming right now.
Yeah.
There's quite a few that are blooming, but there's a lot of them.
I wonder if it's worth transplanting them up to the garden,
Yeah. In the native garden.
because they're clearly
Yeah.
surviving.
Yeah,
I mean, with honeybees, we like it when they survive the winters.
yeah,
They go, that's a good one, that's a
Yeah.
good queen.
yeah.
So, I mean, it may be worth scooping them up and
Yep.
sticking them somewhere, invasive or not, you know.
Okay.
Okay, so the all Cape fence, didn't we discuss this?
Yep. So that was a chain link fence.
Okay,
Sorry, you jumped
so
ahead
that's,
there.
Cemetery fee schedule.
Okay, so the cemetery, I have it in there, so I did meet with, Joe Powers and with, Link. Because we didn't put it in our annual budget that we were increasing the fees, it has to wait till next year, and we weren't the only one. So the meeting also had Amy Yozowski and a whole bunch of other people. If you don't put in that you're going to be increasing the fees before you do your budget, you can't do it after the fact. So he is in favor of it, we just can't do it until we include that
So
increase.
this is, even though this is now gonna cost the town money,
Right. So, and Link is aware, and so Link was also trying to raise the fees for,
the
just, the dump.
Yeah.
Stuff that they haul off, those fees
Yeah.
went up as well, so, I don't know if the Board of Selectmen is going to hear about all of these. The 3 of us were all in the meeting, so, I just had to tell you that even though he agrees with it, he just says he can't do it until.
and that's written somewhere that you
Yeah,
can't
I
do
guess
it?
I don't know if it was FinCom or one of those, when they had a meeting, they said they only want fees increased if it's been included in the budgets previous, which is a new thing, I guess, but
Even though it's gonna cost the town money, doesn't that go against what FinCom does?
I'm just,
Yeah, no, I'm just thinking out loud as a
Right.
taxpayer.
right. So,
Right.
Okay,
so it was discussed, we did have a meeting, and, he said the same thing to me, Amy, and Link.
so this won't take effect until July 1st,
Next.
2024.
Yeah, and we have to put it in our budget, saying that we are
So-
increasing the fees.
Are you working on that?
Yeah,
Do you have a
that,
note
yeah.
for that? Well, that's really too bad.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see FinCom address that. Remember what I told you, don't do politics. Any other old business?
We did have the Rockland Trust.
Isn't that coming up?
No,
Okay.
so that was, because that came after.
Rockland Trust.
So the other old business was the Rockland Trust statement did come in after the meeting was posted. And,
All right, so first of all, I got some things on this, unless
Okay.
you have something you want to say.
no, I don't know anything about this.
I've been locked and loaded about this. since I read it. Okay.
That's
so-
why I sent it to you.
All right, so first of all, this is a monthly statement.
Okay,
It says right here on the cover.
okay.
Where are the previous monthly statements?
This is only the second statement I've gotten.
So we need to find that out,
Okay.
because, I mean, I'll give them February, because they were just spooling us up, but
Okay,
it's all computerized, they just
okay.
print. So if possible, I don't know if Barbara really deals with this anymore, but this Brian Callow, who's actually, maybe if you could call Erica, the administrator,
Okay,
or email her and say, we
Yeah.
would like,
did we just like the other monthly statements?
right, so they don't even say what the beginning time frame is. It might be, it doesn't. But, I mean, I made a note somewhere that we need at least February, March, and April. I would like to see those, personally, okay?
Okay.
And I know we're not entering it into the documents
Yeah.
today, but I did email everybody just so that you knew my concerns
Okay.
with this. So moving ahead, I'm on page, actually, I gotta take you all the way to the back, I think, that's where they put it. Oh, yeah, I'll find it. Oh, it's on page 9 of 14. So they estimate that our annual yearly income will be $12,193. That's based on dividends and things like that, okay? So, I mean, that's a good number. So basically, every 2 years, you would have, you know, a sizable purse should something come up.
Right.
I do have a concern with the rebalancing. Now, if we are commingled with town funds, remember when we voted on this, I kind of washed my hands because it's nice to have somebody doing this. But if they're rebalancing every month, if you look at the activities, they bought and sold. They sold some stock, bought some stock. And one that completely threw me was they sold Rockwell Automation, which is actually booming right now because of all the AI stuff, which I'm sure you've heard in the news.
Yeah.
AI this, AI that. Well, they sold it. Well, they took profits, which is not a bad thing. And it got put into the Treasury, the funds, the fixed income funds, which is good because right now with the Fed, the fixed income is paying, short term is paying 4 to 5% interest, which is good. That we're making money on that. I just don't personally agree with rebalancing monthly, but short of, which is, I'm leading up to a question here as I rant. Do we have permission to talk to these people, or is this a town function?
I don't know, so,
Because it would make no sense, and I'm not slighting you, but to
Yeah.
have you call this person because you're the administrator, and he starts talking up here, and you're
yeah,
like,
I don't know. So I won't know that.
and I am not a CFA,
Yeah,
my degree's in geology, but, I mean, I've been doing this long enough that I go, what are you doing?
yeah,
I mean, I never rebalance our stuff. I just take the dividends and stick it in the bank and live,
Right.
you know. So, I mean, I'm a little concerned with that. But on the bright side, this month we earned $811.95 that went into that money, into the account, I think. Because the cash that they're, and this is why we need the other statements,
Right.
because they intermingle. So our treasury money market account is called our sweep account. In other words, when they take that money, they buy a stock, they sell a stock, the proceeds from that go into the sweep account. It's just where it's like your checking savings account, kind of. That's how it works. But we had set up 5% in that, so we had available cash to use, even though by rule, we can only spend interest.
right.
So without the statements, we have to manually track how much of the sweep account is available for spending. And currently that number is year to date. So it's on here. I mean, we can just pull it out really quickly. Year to date, income and capital gains are $3,695.07. That's on page 5. Year to date. But the capital gains, so a capital gains distribution is in January, they bought Rockwell Automation for this price. They sold 10 shares of it. That's a capital gain because they made a profit on it. So, but I can't track, I can't see, was that money stuck in the sweep account? And that's why I'm against churning, buying and selling stocks. I mean, I know they're trying to keep the ratio of 59.36% stock to bonds, but in the way my mind works, since we need this money for emergencies,
Right.
dividends and interest go into the account, don't touch. I don't want them taking that money and buying a new stock because they're rebalancing to 5%. That has to be, we have to figure that out. We may
Okay.
need another money market account inside of this that they don't touch.
Okay.
So either you and I, we have a party call,
Yeah.
a FaceTime with Mr. Well, this would probably go to Brian
Okay.
Callow. He's the portfolio manager. Unless Barbara wants to intercede, because we have spoken to her.
Right.
But do you see where I'm going with this? I mean, we can sit back and go, okay, there's always going to be 5% in the money market account. And we know that year to date, what did I just say, 3,000 something? 36.95 is our money to spend if you need to.
Right.
I don't know, that's just the way my head works. I just think there's maybe a better way to do this.
You make it understandable. I don't know that much about stocks and things
Well,
like Robin, so
Yeah.
we're counting on you. But
Well, that's what,
you make this all sound like I can understand it.
okay, good. Well, thanks.
Thank you.
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to keep it simple. But again, without these separate statements, no clue.
Yeah.
So in the big picture of what they are doing, remember I was concerned about costs. And there's nothing we can do if this is intermingled with the town stuff.
Right.
But our fund is 59% stocks, which that's risk. That can go up and down. We can lose money on that, you know. And 36% bonds and 5% in the money market. So basically, we are basically a 60-40 portfolio, which is a really good balanced portfolio in retirement. That our fund year to date is down 2.87%. Okay, no big deal, not a lot. The S&P 500, that's an index of stocks, is up 13%. The Vanguard Total Bond Fund, which is just bonds, it's the whole family of bonds, and the expense ratio is only like 0.03, everybody should have that, is up 2.39. So we're down the equivalent amount that a total bond fund is up. That bugs me a little bit. And that again is why I don't like churning to rebalance for no reason other than, oh, well, it's not balanced, so we're sell and buy and rebalance. I'm like, no, we just don't. There's a lot of studies on that, but we're paying him to manage us. A very close, and what I call a gold star mutual fund, which is the Vanguard Wellington Fund. They're basically the same thing. They're 65-35, 65 stock, 35 bond. They are up 6.55. We're down. We're basically the same, but we're down. We've lost, technically on paper, lost 2.87%. As a taxpayer, and a member of this commission, I have a problem with that. I just don't think that's.
Okay.
But if we're commingled with the town money, then we're stuck. And maybe the question is for FinCom. It's like, why is this happening?
Yeah.
Find somebody else. But
Is our account, the perpetual care fund, mixed with other?
I think Barbara explained that by moving it over there, so we have our separate account. So in the computer, it knows our proportion.
Right.
But what's happening to us should be happening to everybody. I mean, I'd be very interested to see the library trust funds version of this.
Okay.
I mean, I don't even know how I can do that without calling their chairman, which I may do, just to go, hey, what's the deal? They probably have very smart people on that board, you know. Well, I think Bill Kroll's on the board. He's an attorney, you know. So the last thing, what happened to the money that was floating around because we were in between treasurers, in between accountants, and we were setting up the perpetual care? So,
So we finally got a new
Yeah.
person. She starts, I think, this week, so hopefully we'll get to the bottom of that.
okay, but so we still don't know where
Right.
this kind of money is,
Right.
which is in the town coffers and should be right here.
Right.
All right, so that's some things that we need to address and either
Yeah.
maybe, well, again, am I permitted to reach out and talk to these people? Or does this have to go through the town?
I will ask Joe first.
Yeah,
And then see what he says. And then, but I know that when Paul Dome was on my committee years ago, he used to make appointments to talk to the accountant. So I think you can make an appointment
to
to
the
talk
town accountant?
to find out first where the other money is.
Oh, I'm a, yeah,
And then-
that's
and
a
then-
lesser concern,
Yeah,
bigger concern.
and then she is she the liaison to them or?
Yeah, a lot of questions for, I mean,
Yeah.
this is a new thing for
Yeah,
us, so
okay.
it's, I mean, it still has the potential, all of the companies that they're invested in are really good dividend companies.
Yeah.
But in our house.
Yeah.
You own those companies and, oh, look, another dividend. Oh, good. It just keeps coming in and it's like, I'm not touching anything.
Right.
Once a year, the study says you should rebalance, just let things happen, because the stock market, I mean, who knows what the stock market's gonna do today with
Right.
this whole,
Yeah.
what's the Fed gonna do tomorrow when they vote? I mean, most people don't even know what the Fed's thinking, you know? All I know is my milk costs more and eggs have finally come down below $8, like, well, okay, well, why was that? Well, the Fed did that. No, the Fed didn't do that. That was caused by chickens having to be killed because they had bird flu. Really? That's not inflation? No. Okay, Rob's rant's over.
Okay.
But we have to get to the bottom of this. So
Yeah.
it's either that or we do what so many people do and just go, whatever. Just, they're managing my money and if it works out, great. But I'm just troubled that we're down so much. And, oh, I know what I forgot to bring up too, was that we pay 0.36 in fees. This year, they have charged us, this month, the month of May, we were charged $134 in fees. For the year, that's $489. That's a 0.36 expense ratio, which really isn't that bad. But in my mind, for every dollar you charge me to manage my money, I better be getting a profit out of it. And like I said, so that Vanguard Wellington Fund, which is almost like us, their fees are half. They're 0.17. They are up 6.55. We are down 2.87. That's a almost 9-10% swing. Okay?
Okay.
Now my rant's over. Sorry. So no other old business besides
No,
me?
that was it.
So you can keep stuff away from me like this. Okay, new business then. We have some bills to
Yep,
sign for.
Got lots of bills. She did just email me, the Agway just doesn't have its organ object because it's an article. So she just sent it to me, so I have it. And
Okay.
Yeah, I just got a notification on my watch. But I'll put that in today. So the 90686 is coming out of the tree article, which was the $20,000 that we got at town meeting 2 years ago.
Okay,
The 5,148 is coming out of web services. The only thing that's on there that would be different with the Canto, they did install the berm in Island Pond, which was $4,000, and they also repaired one of the ones that was damaged. Remember?
didn't you tell me they were also doing that one roadway where we had the outwash? Or was
They
that
did
the berm?
That's the whole
Remember
berm.
on
they
the
did.
tour, the
Yeah.
downhill thing?
And then on the street next to it had where must have been taken up by a plow or something. Somebody drove over it. It was all broken and cracked. So they had to fix one whole section, and then they did all the way down the street. And it came out pretty nice. I'm pretty happy with it. And the person who complained, whose lot was on there, reached out to me and said thank you very much and thanked the commissioners for fixing that. So, which was good. The rest of it is my mileage, which I had to catch up on because it's the end of the year. Eversource, $19.38, and then I bought a pair of boots with my. Every year I don't use my $350, but I bought a pair of boots for $99.99.
Thrifty, good for you.
Okay.
They were on sale. They're actually pretty nice ones.
So we'll look for those with our signatures.
Yes.
All right, letter B, 9072 for Mary and Richard Hedges.
Yeah, I know. So that was an error. That should say deed from Marion. I don't know why it copied from over there when I was rushing.
Oh, I see. Deed 9072.
Yeah.
Cap locks.
Okay.
So it's a deed.
Yeah. So then that's from Mary
Okay.
and Richard.
So we have to sign those?
Yeah, that's right here.
Okay.
It's another sign thing. We're not going to have time to visit cemeteries,
No,
but
not
I'm
today,
gonna
but-
I'm gonna put it on there because we could always do it at some meetings.
Yeah, I mean, except when we're away or whatever, but there should be a way that the four of us can go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love it if you guys could just drive through Island Pond and see the work they did. It looks good. Not only just the berm, but the cleanup that they did on that area
I
over
walk
there.
by Allen Pond all the time and then turn to my wife and go, oh good, we're still not there.
And I believe that Fancy's replaced the logo on the sign
Oh, good.
yesterday as well.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't there the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, so at a minimum, we will do resume inspections July 11th.
Okay.
Okay.
Because if we don't schedule this stuff,
All right.
life gets in the way. Okay, work orders on Island Pond?
Yeah, so work order, that was the two things, the berm and the.
Okay. Poison ivy and knotweed?
So I did, so when I was in there, I don't know if you guys knew this, but I got poison ivy really bad. When we were,
Prednisone bad?
yeah, I was on prednisone and I have literally, it was on my legs so bad, it was horrible. Up both legs, on my arm,
Oh,
it's just finishing showing here, but it's horrible. I can't wear any shorts. My legs look like they're scarred right now. Anyway, so I had the people who do our Japanese knotweed, they came in, and he said to me, the poison ivy is really starting to get out of control here. I did reach out to Amy to ask her what we could use, because part of our property is on conservation and near wetlands. So she met with Blue Flax Design, who is the people who use our Japanese knotweed. So they did it there, and they also went into Mount Pleasant. So the quote should be in. So the quote will be in for July meeting. They're going to take the two lots in Mount Pleasant that are inundated with that ivy, and they're going to strip it down enough, and then they will replant seed.
Great.
Also, on the back lots near Tip O'Neill, which is now covered with Japanese knotweed, they're going to start remediation of that. That also is near wetlands, so they had to do a meeting with Amy after my meeting to just go over all that stuff. And then there was 3 areas in Island Pond where the Japanese knotweed is been sprouting up. So I drove them around and showed them. And then there was a few areas that had really dense poison ivy, which they're going to try to at least push back so that it's not on people's lots. Because I was putting in flags, and when I put in some of the flags, which I'm surprised you didn't get it, one of the things was covered, so I thought it was just regular ivy. I had my gloves on, so I pulled it all back, put the flagpole, and so I didn't.
Leaves of 3, let it be.
So I took my gloves off, I turned them inside out. I never got poison ivy on my hands, but I got it on my legs because I was wearing capris that day. And let me tell you, within 2 days, it was so bad. I was like, I couldn't stop itching. And I tried to get a doctor's appointment. I couldn't get in. And then I tried to treat it myself. Finally, I had to go to Fontaine. And then it was like, whoa, we're going to put you on prednisone. And she gave me this drop stuff to put on it that was really strong. And it dried it up within a couple days, but it was bad.
We go back and check the flags with the Boy Scouts every year to Island Pond.
Yeah.
So maybe a few of them got
A few of them could have got it because it was pretty bad on the perimeter edge there. So they're going to take care of that. Thank God. Thank goodness for these people. And then we would just need to vote for the Web Services of America and for the Agway bill, because those are coming out of articles and not out of our funds.
Okay.
You know.
So then I move that we pay those two items, the Evergreen software for $5,148 and the Agway $906 from the tree article.
I'll second that.
All in favor, aye. To quote Mr. Ford, it is a vote. Any other business?
Yes, I have some new business. I like to put, I'm guessing because we're short of time really, on next month's agenda.
Sure.
The road signs in all the cemeteries.
Oh, yeah. So we recently, me and Dory went around Island Pond at least, and some of the letters are missing and stuff, so
yeah.
she has a list, all the
Okay.
ones there, but we'll
But
go
does
around the other
somebody in
ones.
the town actually make those
Yeah,
signs?
they guys, yeah, we
Okay.
put in a work order for that.
Okay, that would be
Unless you
great.
guys wanna get some different ones,
No.
I think we can just have them redo the ones that we have.
Cheaper the better, but
Yeah.
especially like Pine Grove, they
Yeah, Pine-
have the sign on the fence out front.
Yeah.
But if you're in the back and you're looking for somebody, it's like none of those are marked on the other
Okay,
end of the road.
all right, so Pine Grove,
So we could mark them all in every cemetery. It'd be
And
awesome.
whatchamacallit in Harwichport,
Mount Pleasant,
No,
this side, they have.
there's some signs, but
some.
sometimes you're in the middle of it going,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Am
it
I?
doesn't have it in the
like the
middle.
crossways.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see how much
Okay.
that costs.
Okay.
Maybe add those.
And then,
And just a note too, I know you put vets flags out sometimes.
yeah,
If you could mark it on the, the piece you give us that says, these are new veterans this year,
yeah.
to make sure they have a flag.
Yeah.
If you put a flag on there,
Yeah.
do you have Loctite to put on it?
I don't, so John did come and speak to me
Yeah.
about doing that, because I guess they're spinning.
They
So
do,
what
and
do I gotta get?
You
Lock?
don't need to get it, we have it, but if you wanna wait or just give us a call and say,
You know what, I should just have John put together some of the.
this is what I thought too.
Yeah. So
Okay.
maybe I'll just give you a box and he could do them. I also have a
we have 'em.
volunteer that's working with me currently who is going around checking all of our Civil War and Revolutionary War veterans. And he's gonna give us a list of how many just have regular veterans flag holders versus, their
Yeah.
specific war. So we can get order those ones maybe.
Okay. Check with John first
Okay,
to make
all right.
sure we don't already have them, because,
Now, he came to me, he was looking
okay,
for,
but
so.
I'm just saying, he
Yeah.
does have a lot of them in a tote in his shed or what,
Oh, okay.
workshop
Yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever. He was sorting out things, and I reminded him that, we have some on the front step too.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
we'll work together on
Okay,
that.
perfect. And thank you so much, you and John, for all the work you
Yeah.
guys do,
Yeah.
putting out all those flags. I have to tell you, they looked amazing and people were very excited.
It's nice to do
Yeah.
it, we've done it for 39 years.
Yeah,
Wow.
you do a great job.
Really,
Any other business?
awesome.
I don't,
Other
so
than
the
signatures?
only other thing is, AmeriCorps will be going in, they're going in on are we doing a meeting? No, we're not doing Tuesday, okay. That Tuesday, the last Tuesday of the month, they'll be installing the, fence and clearing out the, lot in, Lothrop
Oh,
Cemetery.
yeah, good.
So they're gonna,
Lothrop.
Lothrop.
If you live here, you say it.
I'm so sorry. Lothrop.
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 Long O.
And I've been here for a long time, 30-something years, almost 40 years. Yeah, so it's, we went out there and walked it. Brian came with me, LB from the DPW, just all that stuff. And this is
You
AmeriCorps.
have to go.
Okay,
Great.
all right. Perfect,
All
so,
right, so other than signatures,
No.
accept a motion to adjourn.
okay.
Second it.
Meeting over at 9:56.
Wow.